All right, hi there, everybody, and welcome back for another one of our 1949 games. This time we've got the Pirates at the Cardinals. And I tell you, every single replay that you do, no matter what season it is, no matter what game it is that you use, no matter what the settings are like, no matter where your focus is at, every single replay that you put on will have something that will surprise you. And here on April 27th, 1949, the thing that surprises everybody, and I mean everybody, is the fact that the Pittsburgh Pirates are 7-0 and at the top of the National League. They're taking on Howie Pollitt of the St. Louis Cardinals, and here's Johnny Hopp, leadoff hitter, who takes a strike, and that one misses for a ball. 1-1 the count on Johnny now. There's a little ground ball over to Jones at first base, takes it himself, one away, and up comes Wally Judnich, and he takes the strike, and it's 0-1 on him here. One out here, 1-1 is the count now. Top of the first inning, no score. Pollock comes in and pitches. He gets it right to Rice, who poses well, and that's a strike. 1-2 now the count, and Judnich fouls that one off. And there's another foul ball. Diamond Mine always giving us those foul balls. There's a little ground ball over to third base to Kazak, who makes the play over to first, and that does it. Here comes Ralph Kiner. Kiner with 5 home runs this year, hitting 400 and hitting very, very well. 1-1 now the count on him, and there's a strike, 1-2. And he swings and misses and strikes out for the third out, and that does it. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Here comes Enos Slaughter, and this St. Louis lineup is brutal. 1-1 now the count on Slaughter as he takes that one for a strike. That pitch misses. 2-1 now. Murray Dickson starting for Pittsburgh. And there's a little ground ball over to Castiglione, who throws over to Hop at first, and there's one gone. Dickson is one of many Pirate pitchers who are pitching well at the start of the season. I had to choose from when I made this lineup. 1-0 now the count on Eddie Kazak, and Eddie swings and misses, and it's 1-1 now. He takes one down the pipe, 1-2. 1-2 pitch, and that is on the edge for strike 3, and that's a strikeout for Murray, and we got 2 outs now, and here comes Stan Musial. Swings and fouls one back, and there's a little ground ball over to Pascal at second base. Throws the first for the out, and just like that, we go to the top of the second inning. It's Wally Westlake with a ground ball over to Red Schoendienst, who throws over to first for the first out. Here's Pete Castiglione, and he has a little ground ball over to Marion at short, throws over for the out, 2 away. Clyde McCulloch now, 0-1, the count on him, hitting just over 300. 1-1 now, the count on him. There's a little bounce over to Schoendienst again, and he throws over to first for the out. No hit so far, no base runner so far. Nippy Jones now, bottom of the second inning, nobody out. 0-2 the count on Jones, 0-0 ball game, and it's 1-2 now on Nippy. And he pops the little one up in between the second base bag and first, and Pascal goes back and picks that one up. He has his feet on the grass and makes that play on the pop-up. 1 away. Here's Chuck Deering. There, one's high for a ball. 1-0 now the count. 2-0 now. Deering hitting 138, not getting on base at all this season, but Dickson misses again. 3-0 now the pitch. That one's low and outside, and Chuck ends up being the first base runner of this ball game. And here's Red Schoendienst, and we'll see what happens here. The computer looking for me to run. We're not running far at all. 2-0 now the count on Schoendienst, and there's a ground ball that's hit straight back to the pitcher. He goes to second for 1, on to first for the double play, and that does that. And we go to the top of the third inning. Nothing, no hits. And Stan Rojek comes up and smashes one to center field, but Chuck Deering can go back and get him with the best, and that's 1 away. Here's Monty Pascal now. And he hits one down the first base line into right field, and that ends up being a double, and that ends the no-hitter, and that breaks the spell. And that is the first hit of the ball game, and the Pirates already are threatening, and there is 1 out here in the top of the third inning with a runner on second base. And here comes Murray Dickson. You normally expect him to bunt, but he's not a great bunter, as you can see if you can see the screen. There's strike 1 to him, and they are not bunting with him, it looks like. And 1-1 now, the count on Murray. And he pops one up, and nope, that one ends up just out of play. 1-2 now, and Pollitt freezes him with that pitch on the outside corner. 2 away now, second strikeout of the game for Howie. Up comes Johnny Hopp again, and he takes the ball. 1-0 now the count, still runner at second base. Now it is 1-1. And there's another foul ball. 1-2 now the count on Johnny. There's a breaking ball, misses outside. 2-2, and that one just misses him. 3-2, full count. That's in and under the hands, and there's the first walk of the game issued by Howie Pollitt, and that brings up Wally Judnich now. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs, top of the third inning. Pirates are finally first team to really threaten here. 0-1 the count on Wally, and there's another strike. 0-2. And there's a smash over again to center field, and Chuck Deering's got it for the out. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Here's Marty Marion. Little ground ball over to Rojek. It's short. Throws over to first for the first out, just like that. And here comes Del Rice. 1 out now. Takes a strike. And then one inside. 1-1. Now it's 1-2 after another strike. And then that one just barely missed. 2-2. Full count now on Del. And Dickson gets him looking for strike 3, second strikeout of the game for Murray Dickson. That brings up the pitcher, Howie Pollard. And that's belted deep to right field to Westlake, who goes back and gets it. And that does that. Go to the top of the fourth. No score. Here's Ralph Kiner, takes a strike at the belt. And there's a ball to him, 1-1 the count now. And that's fouled off his foot, 1-2. That one's fouled back and out of play, 1-2 again. 2-2 now the count on Ralph. He hits one to left field, and Enos Slaughter goes back and gets it. Didn't quite get enough of that one. There's one out now. Wally Westlake now has a strike on him. There's another pitch built high for a strike. 0-2 the count on Wally, and there's a little ground ball outside of third base and foul. And that one was up and in, and it hits Westlake on the elbow, and he ends up going to first base, hit by a pitch. Up comes Pete Castiglione with Wally Westlake on first base. One out here, and the Cardinals are looking for the double play. And they send the runner, and Westlake is able to steal second base there on the very first pitch, which is the strike to Pete. And so Westlake now the runner on second base with Castiglione up there, and we got to worry a little bit about the bunt. We're going to play into the corners just in case and sort of see what he does. And now he takes the changeup for a strike. 0-2 now the count. So we'll go back to our normal defense. 0-2 still. And there's a little foul ball again. And there's a fastball low. 1-2 now the count on Pete. And there's one up. 2-2 now the count. That one's popped up behind first base. Nippy Jones is there to grab it. 2 away. And here comes Clyde McCulloch. And the Pirates with another chance here as McCulloch fouls that one back. 0-1 the count on him. Another chance for the Pirates to take the lead here early in this game. 1-1 now the count on Clyde. And it's 2-1 now. And that's off speed inside 3-1. And Howie's losing his stuff. And boy, McCulloch ends up swinging on that one, just gets a piece of it, fouls it off, full count now. There's a little roller on the right side in the next pitch, and Schoendienst has it over to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, still 0-0. Cardinals looking for their first hit. Here's Enos Slaughter, and he gets it, and he gets that one there right past Johnny Hopp at first base, and he goes off to the races and winds up with a triple out of that one. And that's why we like having Enos Slaughter on our team. My goodness. And now here comes that moment. So we're going to think about perhaps bunting here in a 0-0 game against a team that is undefeated so far this season. The Pirates, again, are 7-0. We got a runner on first or third base here on the bottom of the fourth inning with nobody out, and I think it's time for a little bit of trickery. So what we're going to do here with Slaughter is I think we're going to call a suicide squeeze and just see what happens. The reason why we want to look at the squeeze play is because Kazak has got that good bunt for a sacrifice rating. Now, we do see that the infield is in on the corner, so we're going to have to really push this one, but let's see what happens. And he brings for home. He gets the bunt down, and the plays down to the plate, and Slaughter is thrown out. And so Kazak was able to get the bunt down, but is only able to get it over to the first base side, and Johnny Hopp was running in as fast as he could and was able to get to that ball right in time and sort of flips it over to the play where McCulloch makes the tag just in time to get Slaughter out, and there's one away now, runner on first base for St. Louis. So let me know what you would have done in the comments if that's a little bit too aggressive or not. Given the situation and the fact that that was the first hit of the game for Pittsburgh or for St. Louis, and apologies, and the fact that Pittsburgh also only have one hit this game, I figured, hey, let's go for broke. Here's Stan Musial now, 1-0 the count on him with Kazak on first base. 1-1 now is the count on Stan, and that is a foul tip. 1-2. Foul is another one back, and that's high and away. Ball 2-2-2. And there's no room for a ball 3-2. And I tell you, if Johnny bunts that ball just a little bit further past Johnny Hopp, boy, then we really have something going on, don't we? And there's a little pop foul by Stan over to the right side, and Rojek runs over and grabs it for the second out. 2 away now, and here comes Nippy Jones. He fouls one back. So tell me what you would do with that suicide squeeze play, if you would have called that or not. Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to know what you would think. 1-1 now the count on Nippy Jones. And still 1-1 is the count. And there's one that's blooped on the left field line. And Kazak gets into third base. And now we have something going here with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning with Chuck Deering coming up. And that's one of the things about the Cardinals. Now, this Cardinal team doesn't quite have the sort of lineup that we've been kind of used to seeing from certain really good American League teams. I'm talking about like the Red Sox and the Yankees or even the Brooklyn Dodgers. But, you know, they're good in their own right. And I say that they're good in their own right because in this situation where something really, really bad and really negative happened, they can still sort of be a little resilient and come back and get you with a couple of base hits. Runners on first and third now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's ball 1 to Chuck Deering, and there's a strike on him. 1-1 the count. Deering hits one deep over to Kiner and left, and it's just not deep enough, and that will do it for the Cardinals in the bottom of the fourth inning. Very, very controversial inning there, I'll tell you, especially on my part as a manager, and there are a lot of questions that can be asked about, was it worth it? Should we have done this? Should we have gone with the bunt? Should we have gone with the suicide squeeze? Should we have done a safety squeeze? Would that have been the better idea? I'll tell you, though, I am sort of a baseball romantic at heart, and I'd much rather see the real suicide squeeze take place and the big, big chance comes. Here's Stan Rojek now as I'm thinking about that still. 2-0 is the count on him as Howard is Howie's having a hard time finding the zone. That's a little ground ball over to Marion at short, and he makes the play to Jones at first for the out. One away. Here's Monty Bascall again. Takes one high, 1-0 now the count on him. And he hits a fly ball over to right center field, and Stan goes over and gets it. There's 2 away. And here is Murray Dickson. There's a ball to him, 1-0 the count. And now it's 2-0, top of the fifth inning, no score. Only 3 hits in this ball game. 2-1 the count on Murray now. 2-2 is the count. That was a strike inside. And Paulie gets that one past him, and that's that old speedster, and that's strike 3. And we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's Red Shundians. He has a strike on him, and there's one wide. 1-1 now the count. There's another one a little bit inside and high, 2-1. And he fouls one off, 2-2 now the pitch. And that one's hit down the left field line and foul, just foul. Nobody able to make the play off of that one. And that one misses, full count now in red. And he ends up drawing the walk by Dickson. Dickson gives up his second walk of the game. And here's Marty Marion now, runner on first base. We're going to do some hit and run. Off to the races, and nothing happens. That's just fouled back, and the game did a really good job of sort of setting up the scene there, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm going fast, as you can see. 1-1, 2-1 now is the count on Marty, and he was jammed with that one. 2-2 is the count. Play on at first base, but we're not sending red this time. And there's a fastball outside, and they call that strike 3, and that should have been ball 3. And Dickson ends up picking up his third strikeout of the game. And now we have one out in the bottom of the fifth inning with Del Rice coming up, and we'll have him swing away at first, and then we'll think about what we can do. 1-0 now the count as Rice takes the ball. And, yeah, so I was calling for the hit and run there on that second after that first ball. And Murray Dickson, I guess, must have caught the sign or something. He throws over to first base just at the right time, and we see Shundians caught off of first base, and now there are 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And, boy, I tell you, this just has not been the game. This has not been such a great game here for the manager for the St. Louis Cardinals. We've made a couple of mistakes, that's for sure. 2-0 is now the count on Del Rice, and there's a strike on him. 2-1 to count now. 3-1 on Del. And that swung on and missed, and now it's a full count on Rice. He lays off of that one, and nope, it goes too far. Strike 3, and the strike on number 4 for Dickson. We go to the top of the sixth inning, still no scores. Johnny Hopp, only 3 hits in this ball game. 0-1 now the count to Johnny. 1-1 now. And that's a ball off the inside edge, 2-1. Looking at Hopp, he's got a .294 on base percentage this year, hitting .148. Looks like one of our 1908 hitters. Boy, I should probably think a little bit harder before I have this guy leading off again for Pittsburgh. 2-2 now. He hits one deep to the alley in right field, and Musial's got it. And here comes Wally Judenich. 1 out now. 0-1 is the count on him. And it's 1-1. You know, with the Pirates, they haven't lost at all. I really don't want to touch the lineup. Another fly ball over to Musial. It's over almost Deering's territory, but Stan gets there first. He's a little bit faster. 2 away. Here's Ralph Kiner. And Kiner hits one deep into the left center field for his 6th home run of the season. And, boy, you kissed that one goodbye as soon as that one left the bat. Goodbye. Good night. And good going, Ralph. 6th home run of the season. First run of the ball game. 1-0 Pittsburgh here. Top of the 6th inning. And I tell you, you love to have the St. Louis lineup. You like to have the Brooklyn lineup. But when you're playing with 1949, the guy you really want on your side, if you're doing a draft, is Ralph Kiner. Home run for Kiner. 1-0 the score now. Here's Wally Westlake, and he has a line drive over to Deering in center field, and that does it for the third out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 1-0 now Pittsburgh. And here's Howie Pollitt, and it's a 2-0 count on him as Dixon's missed twice. 3-0 now. He missed again, and that's called for a strike, and Pollitt comes back to the plate, and there's another called strike, and it's a full count, and Howie's just hoping he can get away with one, and he does. Dixon misses with the screwball there out in a full count, and Pollitt's on at first base now. Here comes Enos Slaughter. And Slaughter will swing away. Had a triple up last time, and then it was my mistake that led to him being caught at the plate. He hits a little flare over, a little pop-up really over to Rojic for the first out. And here comes Eddie Kazak. He hits a drive to right field, and that's caught by Westlake for the second out. And here comes Stan Musial, and there's a strike to him. And there's a ground ball over to Bascal on the right side, and he makes the play over to first base, and that does it. Go to the top of the seventh inning, 1-0 still Pittsburgh. And here's Pete Castiglione, and he has a little ground ball over to Marion at short with a 1-0 count on him. Throws over to first for the out, one away. Here comes Clyde McCulloch. And I tell you, as he takes the ball, the Pirates have had no real offense other than Kiner, and there's a fly ball over to Musial and right, 2 away now. And Rojic's up now. He hits a foul ball, 0-1 the count, and there's one foul tipped in the mid of Rice, 0-2. And there's a ground ball to the right side, and Jones has it. He flips over the pitcher covering for the out. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning, still 1-0 Pittsburgh. Nippy Jones takes one low, and then there's a strike hold on him, 1-1 now the count. There's a fork ball that gets away, ball 2. And Nippy Jones does a Ralph Kiner over Kiner's head. He gets into one deep to left field, and that ball is gone. And Nippy Jones has tied up the ball game 1-1 here in the bottom of the seventh inning, and this is a pitcher's duel. And every one of those home runs really, really makes a difference. Man, oh man, this has been one heck of a ball game. 1-1 ball game now. We're tied up here, bottom of the seventh inning, as Nippy Jones hits a home run to left field that goes right over Ralph Kiner's head, and we're going to have more of those, I'm afraid, given the way things are going here. And here is Dickson making an error, a little bit rattled by that last home run. The ball is hit back to Dickson by Chuck Deering, and Dickson ends up booting it instead of making the play at first base. And now there's one on with one out, or nobody out, in the bottom of the seventh inning. And here comes Red Schoendienst, and Deering is your runner on first base, and Chuck has not been hitting well at all in the beginning of this season, and he now is the runner on first base. The go-ahead run is on at first, and here comes Red Schoendienst, and he takes a strike, a high strike, and it's an 0-1 count. 1-1 now. Dickson not pitching so well in terms of balls and strikes. 2-1 now. 3-1 now the count. And that is hit hard, high, and foul by Red. And there's a full count now, and it stays full. Another foul ball, and another foul ball. And that one's fouled off again. Diamond Mine loves this. You try to turn the screw a little bit. There's a little double play ground ball. Rojic has it over to Bascal at second for 1. The throw to Johnny Hop is low, and Schoendienst is able to beat it out. 1 away now from Marty Marion. And there's a ball in too close to him, 1-0 the count, and it's 1-1 now the count. There's a little line drive to third base. Castiglione is able to jump up and grab that one for the second out, and I'm happy that I didn't send the runner. I was thinking a little bit about doing that, but we already we had some problems because of that, and there's a little pop fly now over to Johnny Hop in foul territory, and he catches it, and that does it for the bottom of the seventh inning for St. Louis. We go to the top of the eighth inning, still 1-1. And up first is Monty Bascal, takes a ball, and then there's a strike on him, 1-1 now the count. Good swing by Bascal, looks like a mistake, fouls it off, 1-2 now. And then Pollitt's able to get the strikeout, rings him up with that one right past him, and here comes Dickson. 1 out now, top of the eighth inning, and it's a 1-1 ball game. And 0-2 is the count now on Murray Dickson. He takes one high, 1-2 now the count. And he checks his swing as well, and he goes all the way for strike 3, and that's strikeout number 5 for Howie in this game. Howie having a good game so far. 5 strikeouts, only the 1 walk. 0-1 now the count to Johnny Hop. And there was a long foul fly ball to right field that nobody could quite get to. 0-2 the count on him now. And I tell you, when you're pitching well, this is what happens to you. They extend the strike zone for you. Johnny Hop strikes out looking on that outside pitch. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning now, still 1-1. This is an exciting one. Here comes Howie Pollitt, and he has a little pop fly over to Rojic at second for the out, 1 away. Here's country Enos Slaughter, takes the ball. There's a little bouncer over the mound and past the diving Rojic for a base hit. Slaughter now the runner on first base with Eddie Kazak coming up. That one's high, ball 1 on him. And he fouls one off, 1-1. We're going to bunt right here. And he misses the pitch, 1-2. That didn't work. There's one outside, 2-2, as we're swinging away again. And Kazak has a lame swing on that one. That's strikeout number 5 by Dickson. 2 away. Runner on first base here, Stan Musial, and he takes a strike on the edge. 0-1 the pitch to him, and now it's 1-1 as that one just missed. Little throw to first base by Dickson that almost gets away, but Hop is able to get to it. And now it's 2-1 is the count on Musial. He has a little weak ground ball rather over to Castiglione at third base, who makes the play at first, and that does that. We go to the top of the ninth inning, and here's Wally Judnich. No hits for Judnich in this game, but nobody's had any hits in this one. Only 6 hits total. 2-0 the count on him now. Howie gets that one inside, 2-1. And there's a little fly ball over to shallow left center, and it's Slaughter who's got it, 1 away. And here comes Ralph Kiner. And this is the moment. Kiner with a home run his last time up. 1-1 ball game. Kiner with Pittsburgh's only run and only their second hit. And there's a little ground ball to the right side where Schoendienst grabs it and throws to first base. I tell you, when you're pitching to Ralph, get him to keep the ball on the ground, you'll be okay. Here's Wally Westlake now. He hits a looping liner that just is out of the reach of the diving Marion at shortstop for the base hit. Third hit of the game for Pittsburgh. And up comes Pete Castiglione now. And there's a curveball in there for a strike, 0-1. There's a breaking ball. He lines to right field. And Musial is there and makes the play. And we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, still 1-1. Nippy Jones leads it off, and he had the home run last time as well. 0-1 now the count on Jones. Fouls that one off. 0-2 is now the count on him. That one's inside 1-2. And there's one in the dirt, 2-2. And that's off the plate, full count. Now Dickson losing his control, and he hits a little fly ball over to Ralph Kiner. That one does not quite have enough oomph on it. Kiner comes in to catch that one. There's one away, and here is Chuck Deering. He takes the ball, 1-0 the count. There's a little ground ball over to second base. Shortstop, rather, as Rojek ends up cutting in front of Bascal to make that play at first. 2 away. Here's Red Schoendienst. And there's one off the end of the bat, foul ball, 0-1. And there's a ball to him, 1-1. Little ground ball over to Rojek again. Makes the play at first base. We go to the top of the 10th inning. Here comes Clyde McCulloch. And you'll notice, of course, since we're in 1949, back when baseball was a real sport, that there are no ghost runners and there are no weird gimmicky rules. We play it the real way here. Here's Clyde McCulloch, of course, with nobody on base. And what does he do? He hits a line drive over to Deering in the left center field, and he just keeps on running and ends up turning that little base hit, and really should have been an out probably by Chuck if he had a little bit better speed. Turns that into a double, and just like that, the Pirates have their lead runner on at second base in the top of the 10th inning. And up is Stan Rojek with a runner on second base and nobody out. And the question is he going to bunt? And you already know the answer. And so we are going to play with this infield in. And he does bunt and bunts it foul. And there's an 0-1 count on Rojek, and he fouls another one back, 0-2. We put the infield back again. There's a ground ball to the left side. And he goes through for a single, and McCulloch ends up stopping at third base instead of trying to go home. And now the Pirates really have something going on. Only the 5th hit of the ball game. Howie Pollard has pitched very, very well today, thrown only 108 pitches as we're into the top of the 10th inning. I would rather stay with him than go to this bullpen, even though I know that St. Louis has a good bullpen. My instinct here is to stay with my man, but then again, I know about my own biases. I don't like using relief pitchers. That's just how it is. Here comes Monty Bascal here, and let's see if I do this right or not. 1-0 is the count on Monty, and he crushes one foul, 1-1. Boy, my heart's skipping beats here and there. And there's a little pop fly down the right field line. Musial tries to grab it, and he dives for it, can't come up with it, and that's going to be a double for Bascal, and that scores the go-ahead run. It is 2-1 Pittsburgh now. They're on their way, if they can hold on, to their 8th straight victory here in 1949, and it's still early. I know it's still early in the season, but, man, if they can keep this one up, you don't know. I don't know if anyone's going to catch them. I've been talking all along in this replay about the Brooklyn Dodgers and how we can't seem to get them to win. Runners on second and third now, nobody out in the top of the 10th inning, and I've seen enough. We've got to go to a relief pitcher here. We have no real way around it, and I'm looking here at the bullpen to see who we've got. I think we're going to put this Kurt Krieger in here. And just sort of see what he can do for us. Kurt Krieger, for his first appearance. In real life, he only had a single inning, and that was it. That may end up being what he does here if all goes well. We're going to play the infield in on Dickson. Dickson stays in the ballgame, 0 for 3 so far today, and he takes a strike, 0-1. Dixon swinging away 0-2, even though we have that infield in. We're going to keep the infield in case there's a ground ball so we can cut off that play at the plate. 0-2, the pitch still. Swinging bunt to second base. Yes, we're going to home. That's why we had the infield in the whole time. And we get Rojek at home. He is out for the first out of the inning, and that means that there are runners on first and third now. That runner on first is the pitcher. This is a critical moment of this ball game where we're going to play with the infield in at the corners this time. Dickson came up. He had a little swinging bunt, wasn't really being asked to bunt, and that one went down to Rojek, who was able to make the play at the plate, throwing the runner out. Who was there throwing Baskell? I'm sorry, not Baskell. I'm sorry, it was Rojek who was thrown out. Who was it that made that play? It was Schoendienst that made the play red. You can see going a little bit too fast here, getting a little bit confused. Big play at the plate, and there is one out now, and of course I did the defense wrong. It's 1-2 now is the pitch. And there's a little pop fly over to Schoendienst at second base for the second out of the inning, and here comes Wally Judnich. 2-1 Pirates now, and oh boy. And so there's a little ground ball that's hit right behind the mound, taken by Marion, throws over to Schoendienst covering the bag at second, but he was pulled off the bag, which means Dickson was safe. And so just like that, the Pirates are able to score another run. It is 3-1 Pittsburgh now here in the top of the 10th inning. And this has been a real tense and exciting game. And what are we going to have here in the bottom of the 10th? I don't know. But there's all sorts of little defensive errors and mistakes here in this game. The Pirates have had 7 hits, but if you've been watching this game, it feels like they've only had 1 because it was only Kiner with that home run who did anything serious. Kiner comes up again, hits a pop fly over there, and Marion ends up taking it, the pop fly in the infield for the third out. 2 runs in the inning, though, for Pittsburgh, and it's 3-1, and here we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and Marty Marion's going to lead it off for the Cardinals. And he fouls one off. 0-1 the count now. There's a line drive base hit. He picks out that one and lines it on over to left field. And here's a runner on first base now for St. Louis with nobody out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. And the Pirates are hoping that they can get out of this, try to win their 8th straight game to start the season. This has been a lot of fun, hasn't it? In real life, the 49 Pirates are not exactly like the greatest team of all time, I'll tell you that. This has been a big, big surprise to see them playing like that this season. Dickson is a right-handed pitcher. We're going to do a little bit of this righty-lefty, though I'm not such a huge believer in all this stuff. We're going to put Solly Hemus out there to pinch hit. And let's see if he can do something with Marion. There's a little ground ball over to Baskell, takes it himself, and then he flips over to first base for the double play. Thank you very much, Hemus. He swings at the first pitch, I want to point out. He's a pinch hitter called up from the bench, decides to swing at the first pitch that he sees, and ends up getting those 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat on 1 pitch. And Dickson has a chance for a 10-inning complete game as Kurt Krieger, who was the relief pitcher, is coming up to bat. We're not going to put him up, of course. That would be insane. Instead, we're going to probably have, I think, Tommy Glaviano. Sorry, I was misreading that. Glaviano comes in. Tommy Glaviano now is the pinch hitter, 0-2 on the season. There's a ball to him low, 1-0. There's a curve and a ball, 2-0 now is the count on him, and that's low and inside, and it's a 3-0 count. That's low and away, and so Dickson executes his 4th walk of the day, and I wonder how much longer Pittsburgh's going to stay with their man. 4 walks given up now by Dickson, and that is not the tying run on first base, but it still is crucial. The tying run now comes up to bat in the person of Enos Slaughter. Glaviano is the runner on at first base. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Glaviano's fast enough, I suppose. Slaughter takes a screwball high. 1-0 the count on him now. And there's a little ground ball over to Dickson at first base, and he throws over the pitcher, Dickson, rather, and he throws over to first base for the out, and that does that. And unfortunately, Slaughter, who came up as 2 for 4 in the ballgame before that one, ends up as 2 for 5. You can't win them all unless you're Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh now has won them all so far this season, 8-0 for the Pirates. And St. Louis is actually off to kind of a struggling start so far this season. And the 1949 Pittsburgh Pirates here are the story so far of the replay, more than any of the other stories we've had, more so than the success that the New York Giants have had and the problems that the Brooklyn Dodgers have had, more so than all the runs that are being scored over by the Red Sox in Boston, more so than the good pitching we've seen by the Boston Braves and the Cleveland Indians. The real story so far of this season has been this Pittsburgh Pirates team that just hasn't lost, and they keep getting clutch hits when they need them, and so many of their games have been close, and this was another one. I sure hope that you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun to play. I love playing games with this season. This is, really, really the activity I love doing here on, what is this today? It's a Sunday. It's actually snowing outside. But hope that you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow. Bye.